Yellow, yellow.
I'm here all day.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
All day, every day.
Easy.
Mahomes now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Hands up. Lady.
51. Too low. 36.
Hands up.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Come on now.
Five.
55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Here's Dalton. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. So that's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A 1st down throw coming for Dalton. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta.
51. Here we go, D. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Throwing again. Dalton. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way, and the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
Silver. 51, Mike 51.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 3rd down, Dalton, they'll roll him out right. He'll let it go deep for Beckham, and he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get, and then the players and the coaching staff right now.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Emmanuel Agba able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, there was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go. Bravo.
Check tight. 55.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line.
After 1-7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Keep it up. Out. 2 by 2. Move. X3. 218. Chop.
Now Dalton. It's a screen to Richard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call.
2 by 2. Move.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Mahomes going to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yeah, 5-6. Regular.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Let's go, baby.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Let's get that.
To throw again. Dalton. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey, watch it. Check. Crouch.
Dalton here from the gun. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 30.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
44's to Mike. 44's to Mike.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Completes it to Aguilar. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
Yellow, attack, attack.
Now Mahomes. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
They go play action here on first down. They'll buy some time right. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now here's Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
How about this Browns defense? They've held so far. This is now 3rd and goal. Here's Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Dalton. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So Dalton now, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Dalton. It's complete to Fuller. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
They're not ready for this. They still
To throw again, Dalton. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. It's caught by Aguilar. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Let's go, D. Go, Mike.
Attack, attack.
Mike 51.
Mahomes now on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
His guys take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The final act of the first half. Dalton flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And this will be a touchback as that. Sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Lightning speed that time from the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Miller And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Okay, ready?
51, Mike, 51. You don't want this.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Hey, Echo, 50, plant.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, Harry.
51.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
Squeeze down the line. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Leo. Hard.
Chuck.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react it.
Lamar Miller, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Mike 51. Bring it down.
On first down, it's Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
General West. Hey, team 6. Get it.
2nd and 2. Trucks over him. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Set up. 10 Lobo.
Let's go.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He finds his target, Beckham. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is down to 28-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Miller. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Again, it's Miller. Past the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 10-yard line.
First down and 10 yards to go.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on 1st down. They'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run with Miller. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Texans push further out in front.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Down.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey, Alpha! Right now, you better bring it.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Here we go.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Ready?
2nd and 13. It's caught. Beckham.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Hey, exit.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll drop the throw. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Rolling to his right. Completes it to Aguilar. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Turn up. Kill, turn up.
Hero 15.
Check.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's now 4th down and goal.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, Went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go. Got
some room at the 30. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Well, stating the obvious, this is going to be one that the rookie quarterback is going to want to forget pretty quickly.
And what quarterback has not gone through this in their rookie year?
Yeah, they all are. I guess it's cliche, but these are the ones you hope to grow from, right?
It's just part of life on the road in the NFL. He has to learn from it and grow. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. Incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been...
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Mahomes going to throw it here. He finds Hopkins complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they pick up victorious here.